Hi everyone. Today on The Mother Agents, we have Lisa Sauce from Blonde Talent in Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to The Mother Agents. This is Greg Chan. And today on 15 Minutes with the Mother Agent, we have Lisa Sauce from Blonde Talent in Indianapolis, Indiana. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Greg.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, great, fantastic. So tell me, I guess let's just start with introducing yourself and tell me a little bit about you and your company and where you're based, your vision, your values, anything about it.
I'd love to. Okay. So my name is Lisa Sauce, and my mother agency is called Blonde Talent, hence blonde hair. It comes from, I have a music business called Blonde Entertainment, and I also have a charity called Blonde Hope. I've had Blonde Entertainment. My 25th anniversary will be in January of 2023. And I manage and book, musical talent, artists, a lot of young folks starting in the music business. And from that, I started a charity called Blonde Hope. I try to help local homeless shelters, animal organizations, soup kitchens, things like that. And then I had started a photography business called Blonde Photos. I'm just running with the dang blonde hair. Tried to be a brunette for about a year, and I got a lot of pushback. So I kept wanting to, I dyed my hair dark, and people are like, wait a minute, all your businesses are called blonde. I was like, shoot, I just kind of want to be a brunette. So I had this photography business, and in about 2015, going into 16, I would take like senior pictures, and I would take pictures of my musicians and my bands, like promo shots and this and that. And I was taking pictures of a senior, and the mom said, "Oh, we brought little sister along. She's about 13." And she goes, "Can she jump in a couple pictures?" And it was one of those moments that as soon as by the way, the senior was stunning. But when the 13-year-old got in there with the senior, I just kept like looking at this child, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the camera just loved her. She was angelic looking almost. She had this hair that was just like this spun, woven, beautiful hair, like these light green eyes, so pretty. And I just mentioned to the mom, I said, gosh, I don't know, but I think both your daughters should model. They're not super tall, and I don't know a lot about it, but there's something going on here. So that I just started like, and she goes, well, I don't know really anything about modeling. So I kind of started researching, got her some information. Nothing really happened with that. She was a very young girl. I went to a music festival and was just like looking at, the people there. I was with a friend, found this other girl who was so stunning, kind of said, man, you should start modeling. It was just coming out of my mouth, and I didn't even know what I was talking about. That's the sad part. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I researched, and I sent the girl that I met at the music festival. She was like 17, 18. Got together with her, took some pictures, learned how to take a digital, was good. They were good enough, sent to some agencies. And next thing I know, in Chicago, and then the agency started calling me. I went there, took the girl. She didn't end up getting signed, but one of the agencies in Chicago said, we would love for you to be a scout for us. You have a good eye. And so that's how I started in the modeling business. I became a scout, kind of doing Midwest for an agency called Select. They're kind of international. Got a couple girls placed there. After about a year or so, I started thinking, you know what? I don't know that I want to be exclusive with just one place and just be a scout. Like, I'm good at developing people because I've done this with my artist already. And so I just decided to do a little research, and I made my agency a mother agency.
Fantastic.
So
Wow.
that's kind of how that evolved. Sorry for the
Mhm.
long story.
I love it. I love it. And I think that's wonderful, because it's like, I always I'm curious to know, like, at what point did you think, okay, wow, can be a business for me. I'm going to start a company.
Exactly. And I didn't know that I would make any money. And I kind of figured it'd be a pretty slow go. And it is, because one of the things for me is I like really young to work with really young girls. And especially in this day and age, that you need to be a little bit older to get to New York or even LA. Like the age, I feel like the age range has gone up, is what
Mhm,
the agencies are looking for. They want girls more mature, and boys. They want you more mature. They want you to have lived your life a little bit,
mhm,
maybe even done a year or two of college. So it is a slow, for me, it's been a slow process kind of getting going, because I've started with a lot of girls that are 12, 13, 14. Now they might be 18 or 19, and I'm placing them. But I think it's like, it's been really neat because I've been able to watch them develop and grow and get to know them as a human being, see like their likes or dislikes, see them go through boyfriends or girlfriends, and
mhm,
do like community service work, do their sports. Couple have had sport injuries, and kind of seeing, like, some of their heartache, heartbreak, go through puberty,
mhm,
acne, the things that we go through, your body changes, and to come out on the other side. And if they still want to model, and it's still important to them, and they've learned to have good hygiene. I work a lot on hygiene, diet, take care of your skin, take care of your hair, take care of your nails, your eyebrows, watch what you're putting into your body. What are you doing for exercise? You don't have to go out and run a marathon, but try to do some Pilates or yoga if you want to keep in a really good shape. So it's been good because I've had to research more about those things and learn more about how to take care of myself
mhm.
by trying to help the models.
Yeah,
So that's been great.
that's right.
Um,
Great.
and involvement.
Fantastic. And Lisa, what gender models do you represent?
Any gender. So yeah, male, female, trans, whatever gender you are, I am happy to represent you. I'm honored to represent you. As if you've got a good attitude, if you care about yourself, care about others, want to take care of yourself. Um, it's nice too if you have a good support system. Doesn't have to be your family. It's nice if it's a family, but especially for my younger ones, it's really nice to have some people on board that are in your inner world, your circle. Um, had some experiences where maybe a parent wasn't on board, and it was really hard. It kind of made it really hard for the model to get to the next place because they didn't feel supported. And
Mhm,
if they're young, I didn't want to like step in too much, like if you're a minor, I can only do so much. I can try to guide and talk to your folks and hope that they're going to get on board and see what your passion is and your desire. But I think it's super important to have a support system and have that not just be me.
mhm.
Um, but it just, it's part of knowing what you want to do too, and learning about modeling. And I try to have them, read about it, go to your page, learn stuff, go on YouTube, learn things about posing and walking. And then I try to do classes and help people learn how to do at-home digitals. That's huge now. Didn't used to be, but it
Sure,
still is now.
sure.
So
And,
yeah.
and how many models do you currently manage?
So right now I think I've got about 28 that I've got signed with me. It usually goes between 25 and maybe 35. I want to keep it small because I'm busy and it's just me. I've got a couple models that work for me. They'll do digitals with me, they'll do posing and walking classes. They actually will scout for me, but kind of the buck stops with me. I feel like the business has to be about my relationship with the models. So I don't want it to get too big because I don't have time to, really nurture and develop and talk to everybody. I don't want to be, I don't want to be like that person that's not reachable,
Mhm.
that can't answer the questions. It's not there for a late night phone call.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it small. I'd like to probably be a little bit smaller, maybe even closer to keeping it right around 20.
Mhm.
And 20 that are actually all getting work. Wouldn't that be great? In a perfect
Yeah.
world, that would be
Sure.
great.
Sure. And who are some of the agencies? Tell us about some of the agencies that you work with around the world and you have models signed with.
Okay, yeah. So I've got people with Select. I've got people in New York at Elite and One and the Outfit. Um, I've got people in LA at Freedom. I love that agency out in LA. I've got people at Women in LA. Um, I've got some people with BMG and London. I've got Milk, which I love. They've been really
Mhm.
good to work with
Yeah.
so far. I've got one throughout the whole country. I've got and in Spain, I've got someone's place there. I've got I'm just trying to think of what else. Yeah, got someone in Toronto. But
Wow.
yeah, kind of everywhere. I don't have anybody in Asia, so I'd really love to work on that. And I don't have anybody placed yet, like in Paris or Milan, but I think that's coming up because I've got some people going to show season in February.
Mhm.
And I think if they, take off, I think they'll end up doing the whole circuit. So that would be really fun.
Right.
But I've got some connections there. I just haven't, like the Fabrica's been interested in a couple of my models, and Elite in London, I'm talking to about some people. So yeah, I'm excited to get a little bit more international. That would be fun.
Super exciting. Great.
Oh,
And
Ford too. That's one I love too. I've
mhm.
got people in Chicago at Ford, and in LA. I love Ford.
Amazing. Um,
Sorry.
Tell us how about some of the exciting jobs that some of your models have booked.
Yeah, so I was just trying to think of some fun stuff that's happening, some fun stuff that's coming up. Um, we've been able to do quite a few shows. A lot of them have been in the Midwest, some have been in LA. I've got two coming up for show season. Since my girls have been younger and my boy's only 18, the one I've got right now, but since they've been younger, they haven't been able to be presented and do show season. It's all coming up in February. I think I've got three coming up this February that are going to launch out of New York,
Right.
which is amazing. Like, I'm super excited about it. We had a couple that were going to launch in this last season and they just weren't quite ready. But we've had people do stuff with Nike, a bunch of cool, like Adidas, some swimwear. Got one with Hollister, and she's done going on her second year of doing multiple campaigns with them. American Eagle. We've done some great campaigns. A lot of stuff in a lot of editorials, lots of covers. Um, different Vogues, not obviously we haven't done Vogue US, but we've done some Vogue stuff throughout, and we've done just some really other good magazines throughout, covers and beauty campaigns, things like that. um but yeah, I feel like I'm on the cusp because my agency's new. It's only 6 years. So I feel like I've grown to the point where we're on the cusp of hopefully some people really taking off and getting some great campaigns. We've had people like going until 4 in the morning to possibly get a show when they didn't get one. There's a couple of shows, one that happened in LA and one that happened in Detroit, and I had a different girl on each one. And they literally were the last person cut. I mean,
Oh,
but it's sad. It happens.
yeah.
And
It happens.
it's heartbreaking because those girls were so devastated.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm on the phone at 3 a.m. with their agent still and talking to them. And they're like, okay, I'm doing another fitting, but they didn't get it. But it's okay. I mean, it's just part of the business that, it wasn't meant to be for them this time. And you, being a mother agent, you have to be able to talk to them about those letdowns too. I think that's a really hard part of being a model is you could get a lot of no's before you get your first great yes. And you have to be prepared for that. And
Yeah.
you have to not let it knock you down,
Yeah.
and just feel so defeated because there is rejection out there and you just have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and give it another try if you want to be in this business. It makes you stronger, I think. So
Well, I'm glad you said that. It's well said, and I mean it's something important that we need to talk about rejection. It's an important part of the business, but you can't let it affect the person that you are.
yeah.
So it is part of a skill set of a model. But
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Lisa, what do you look for in a model?
So what I look for, I used to be told, I've been told by I have some older friends that are models. One's named Jan de Villeneuve. She's in her 70s and she lives in England. And she's amazing. She still models all the time. Then I have another friend, Roberta Churko, who's a model who lives in Indiana. And she was highly famous. She's probably in her mid 50s now. Both of them said, your eye just goes to beauty. And I see they've said this to me over the years, and I get what they're saying. And it's not that I took offense to it, but I was like, well, wait, I don't want to just be like, just looking at beauty, but that's what they think that I see. So I feel like I've really evolved from that. I'm looking more for just interesting and unique. I try to usually go for the height because I do feel like it's harder if you're shorter. I do think some agencies are, going for shorter models, and I saw that more during COVID, but I feel like now they're asking for tall again. So I'll go to a concert and I'll just, go through the line. And if I see somebody the right height and they're interesting looking, don't have to be necessarily thin or plus, but they've got a cool look, a unique look. Um, then I'll approach them and talk to them. And usually they don't think I'm too creepy because I'm older. So I'm like, oh, are you a model? And they're like, oh God, is this like one of my friends' moms or something? Or it's good. I think I've got that on my side that I usually don't creep people out when I go and scout. But I think I just I definitely look for good skin, because what I've found over the years is you can be beautiful, but if you have bad skin, it's not good. You can be, unique looking, but if you don't have good skin, your unique look, you got to get your skin cleared up. So if I see someone and their skin isn't great, I'm like, I'll talk to them, but I'll talk about their skin almost instantly and say, it's like, I'm not afraid. I'm pretty transparent. If you want to be a model, skin is huge. Good skin, healthy skin. So, I'm trying to get off of just being, so into beauty, which is what I've been told that I am. And really, the people I've been scouting lately are definitely a little bit more unique, a little more androgynous looking, a little bit just different. And I feel good that I'm getting out of my box, so to speak. So
Yeah, that's great.
um good hair too. I think good hair and skin is just, I've just learned that from agents. Oh
Sure.
yeah, like her hair is a little too thin, or I don't know about, yeah, can she change her hair color, and is her hair damaged, and does she have acne? Like those are questions, and you see it in a digital. You're going to see it because you can't edit those. So that is big for me. But I also, what I'm looking forward to once I meet them is, can they talk to me? Like I'm an adult, so can you have a conversation? Are you looking away? Can you look at me? Are you comfortable talking to an adult? Because as you know, Greg, if you're a model and you have to go to a casting, you have to be in the room with adults. You have to be able to talk to adults.
Mhm.
and just have a good, have a conversation and be able to make eye contact.
Yeah.
So on a first meeting, I'll definitely check that out. I don't scout on Instagram or social media. I'm an in-person scout, which is kind of old school probably, but I really enjoy that. I've tried to scout on social media, TikTok and Instagram, and it just doesn't work for me. I just want to meet the person face to face.
Mhm.
So it
Great.
just kind of,
Great.
it's a little old school, but and
Right.
it takes you more time to find people. But if I see someone on a train or walking down the street, I'm not shy. I will literally run across the street. Hey. So that's good. If I was shy, I'd have to be only a social media scout probably.
Mhm.
But
That's right. And so do you have any talking about height and age, like do you have any parameters, height or age parameters that are required for you when you're scouting?
I mean, it seems like they're really I've got some girls. That young girl I told you about, the really young one, she's only 5'5", and I did get her signed at Freedom and a Crawford model. She signed at both, and she's 18 now, and she's only 5'5.5". Outstanding face and hair. So if I see someone that's really unique, I would maybe go for a 5'5" or 5'6", even 5'7". But I think that they really like 5'7.5" and up to maybe 6 foot for a girl,
Mhm.
is what I hear from all the agencies that I work with, whether it's Midwest, New York, LA, Miami. And then for boys, like, five, I've scouted a really good one at like 5'10.5", and I did get him placed in Chicago. But it seems like they really want more like 6 to 6'2", maybe 6'2.5". And I think it's just because of clothing and sizes. You've got to be able to fit in the clothes that people would put on you for, the e-com or the campaign or whatever. So,
Sure.
um, but if somebody's really striking and different and special and they have a great personality, I will go ahead and try to place them at, the shorter or taller. I
Mhm.
tried to place a boy who was like 6'4". He was had such a good look, and I haven't placed him yet, but he's still on my roster that we're trying.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, pretty much 5'8" to maybe 5'11" for a girl, 5'11" to 6'2" for a boy, kind of is where I'm at based on what the agents ask me for. So, um,
Gotcha. Okay, great. And let me ask you, what advice would you give to a young kid that's just starting out that wants to get started modeling?
my advice would be, definitely do your homework and, maybe go online. And like if you're sitting at home and you're like, hey, I kind of want to be a model, or people have said that I should be a model. I get that a lot. Like, people
Mhm.
have approached me. I would definitely do my own homework, even if I'm 15, 16, whatever, and read about the industry, read about the do's and don'ts, the rights and wrong. I have a lot of people that call me and say, should I have to pay to be a model? And I said, well, I don't charge anything. I'm a mother agent. You sign a contract with me, you're not paying anything. That's, don't go to any of those schools that charge you $1,000. Please don't do that. Like, oh, let's go to this finishing modeling school. There's a couple here in Indianapolis, and I think it's very unethical. They make a promise to somebody, they sign anyone. These kids go and spend thousands of dollars on photo shoots that they can never use. You take classes that may or may not be correct. They may not be the right walking, the right posing, and they put them on a website, and no one's ever going to call them because either clients aren't looking at that website, or the person's not going to have the right criteria to get a job based on the images they took or based on their measurements or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would definitely say do your own homework, but definitely reach out to mother agents and check them out. If they're on your website, then we know they're a valid mother agent. We know they've got integrity. We know that you've already vetted them.
Mhm.
People need to vet people in this day and age. I mean, you just can't. And if somebody comes up to you and says, I'm a model agent, or call me or do this. I have a girl that this happened to, and a boy, where a photographer gave them a card and said, hey, I work for modeling agencies. And both of them had a bad experience. They actually went to somebody's studio that they didn't know,
Mhm.
that didn't have any credibility, and they got in an uncomfortable situation. They both ended up being okay, but it was a bad experience. So I think as a young kid, you've got to, be vetting, anyone that's talking to you, and anyone you talk to, you need to make sure they're legitimate,
That's right.
and that they're ethical, And I think you can find out you can research. I mean, you can Google people and find out. Photographers too, man, you can find out pretty quickly if that person's got a bad rap.
Mhm.
So yes, as a kid, I would say definitely, try to find a good mother agent. That's the best place to start.
Mhm.
And if you can't find one, maybe you can do some test picture. You can do your at-home digitals and send it into some different agencies, but you got to send stuff into credible agencies too.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
get a lot I get a lot of submissions, um, and I try to always write back and say, you look great, thank you. I just probably wouldn't have I couldn't place you right now, but maybe in a couple, like, maybe they don't live close to me, or then they're really young, or maybe I get a lot from Europe, and I don't really know how to be a mother agent to someone in Europe because I don't know about all the travel stuff.
Mhm.
Just not, I'm not there, and I like to do things that I'm good at. I don't like, and I'll research, but if I can't get there, I want them to find somebody, and then I'll go on your website and say, hey, I saw this agency in Africa.
Mhm.
I don't know where you live in Africa, but maybe you could reach out to them because it's at least in the same, continent. Like they might know how to get you to travel from point A to point. I do have a boy from Africa right now that I'm trying to help, but I've helped him, and he's getting in fashion shows. He's not signed with me. I hope I can get him at some point, but he's working in Kenya right now, and
Amazing.
yeah, so that's fun.
So, Lisa, let me ask you this. What is most important to you as a mother agent?
Most important thing to me is reputation and integrity. I feel like what you what you say is one thing, what you do is everything. You have to be respectable and have integrity, and you have to be honest, and you have to be transparent. If something's not working with me and a model, or the model and whatever's going on in their life, I'll say take a pause. I'll let you out of your contract. This isn't working for you, your life, because life throws us curves,
Mhm.
and it throws us a bend, and we have to go somewhere else. I don't ever want a model to feel like I held them to something against their will, like in an unethical fashion. And I think that comes from the music business, because I've been in the music business so long, and they've got some similarities.
Mhm.
There's a
Sure.
lot of rough roads in the music business, and you can get with the wrong people. And when I started my music business, I worked for a radio show, and these DJs, they've been on the air forever. They're called Bob and Tom. And Tom told me, he goes, you have integrity. You're going to be really good at the music business, because they need people with integrity. And when I started the modeling business, he said the same thing to me. He's like, just keep keep it moving down the road here, girl.
Mhm.
So I think for me, the most important thing is just being truthful with people, and standing on a good reputation. Don't let people down, and communicate. So in the modeling industry, I feel like a lot of times there's communication missing.
Yeah.
And some of these kids get lost in the shuffle. They get signed someplace, and then they can't reach your agent. They're not heard from. There's no response. They don't, they'll spend money on all these tests, and then they'll be sitting there for a year with nothing.
Mhm.
You have to be able to you got to be able to talk to your agent,
Mhm.
and the agents need to be able to talk to their models. Like, it goes both ways. Got to
Sure.
be good communicators.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, listen, Lisa, we have one more question, and this question
Okay.
is a mystery question. So
Ooh.
we have our hat of mystery questions,
Love it. I
and
love,
you don't know what you're going to get out of the mystery question. It could be anything
okay.
from your opinion in a certain area. It could be some what would you do in this
I
situation,
love it.
to challenging the knowledge of our mother agent. So we're going to shuffle these mystery questions, and your mystery question is,
I love it.
oh, this is a good one. Okay, so let me just set this up here. How do you pronounce this word?
Okay, let me make sure my glasses are adjusted here. Oh, did I lose you, Greg? What
No,
happened there?
I'm still here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're drowning in this word. That's what's
Oh
happening.
my God. Fun Hunter. Fun Dun Fun Zig. God, you're killing me. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so the correct.
That's a correct answer. I'm so bad at words here. That was bad.
Okay, here. So let's see. Let me pull this up.
Fun Hunter, fun, blah, 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 blah. That was a tongue twister.
So
Kids, don't hold this against me. Pitch out for a bigger view.
okay, here is the correct pronunciation of this word.
We are looking at how to pronounce this interesting German word. It's actually a number meaning 555. How do you say it? 555. 555. Pretty straightforward once you know, right? 555. And now you know. More videos here on how to pronounce more interesting words. I'll see you there to learn more. Thanks for watching.
Did you get that?
Yes, that's fascinating. That's so great. Sorry, yeah.
How to pronounce.
Well, I failed miserably. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's always next time, Lisa. There's still hope for you.
Thank God. Oh.
So listen, everyone. Lisa Sauce from Blonde Talent in Indianapolis, Indiana. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing us to get to know you, and your brand. We're so excited to have you here on the Mother Agents.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, if anyone ever has questions, they can always email me too. You've got all my information at the Mother Agents.
Yes, fantastic.
Which is awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Great. All right. Take care, Lisa. Bye-bye.
Bye.